Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you are finally watching my review, my last review for Taboo Tattoo, reviewing both episodes 11 and 12. Um, I'm gonna, so I was taking a college course like a couple weeks ago, right? And that's why I ended up like not doing any reviews that week because stuff was just going on. All right, I just didn't have time. And then I caught up and did World Trigger, and then by that time I had already watched the last episode of Taboo Tattoo, and when I finish a series, unless it's like really really good, I don't exactly feel like going back. So I just like the longer I spent, like the more time that passed between the end of Taboo Tattoo and me doing the review, the less motivation I had until like I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna prepare and I'm gonna do this review. Okay, so this is my review for episodes 11 and 12. Alright, starting with episode 11, Tamaki ended up beating the crazy girl, pretty much. I mean, there was a little bit of an assist there. Towards the end, at first he was fighting her by himself. He was using super acceleration to create distortions in space, whatever that means. Okay, and he pretty much defeated her. Izzy defeated Mish and Laka with a little help from these guys, Lawrence and Tony. Um, and then eventually she knocked Laka off the cliff, and then that's when Tamaki came in and hit Laka, which forced him into the crazy girl, and then just took them both out. Okay. Now, a decent portion of this episode was all about Seigi fighting Cal. Okay, that was the main part. That was the initial main part, because Aryabata came in at the end there, like halfway through the episode. But the probably the best part of this episode was Seigi versus Cal. Okay, apparently she had lost her ability to use her absolute boundary shield thingy when she fought Brad, so now she just uses a noise canceller, which is also, I mean, she's so good. I mean, she did that could actually be like, that it doesn't make her any weak. I mean, it does technically make her weaker, but like not really, because she's still pretty freaking good, and a noise canceller is also very helpful. But apparently Brad accomplished this by destroying her control circuits. I don't know what that means either. When I heard Cal say this, destroyed control circuit, I just kind of just rolled my eyes and said, okay, whatever. Okay, because I mean, at this point, I mean, who cares, right? Again, keep in mind, at this point, my motivation to review the last two episodes is already low because I had already watched them like a week ago, right? So I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I'm not coming up with theories for the second to last episode. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Why would I waste time doing that? Okay. And then Cal ends up saying that when the 4 keys are activated, all right, as far as like triggerless tattoos and crap go, when the 4 keys are activated, the minds of Aryabata and all of her sisters will fuse. Okay, Aryabata will then lose her personality, so kind of like Asuna style from Negima, not Sao, because screw Sao. Okay, from Negima, the actual good Asuna. Okay. Though to be fair, I didn't watch season 2, but why would I force myself through season 2 after watching Alfame Online? Anyway, that getting off topic. Okay, essentially what Cal says is that Aryabata's spiritual body will perpetually rewrite itself. Okay, and her pattern of thought will evolve to a point where she will be a being of a higher level than humans, pretty much. She'll be a higher being and because of her being a higher being, she will be able to serve as a god. Not technically not become a god, just act as one, as the de facto like higher being. Okay. So yeah, Seigi, and strangely enough, Seigi was he was more angry about the fact that Aryabata was going to change than the fact that the world was going to be altered and like people were going to be killed. Like he was more angry about Aryabata sacrificing something, which was weird, but whatever. Say we've seen plenty of times that Seigi's sense of justice is kind of strange. Okay, and now Cal and Seigi fought, and they had a good fight. That was very enjoyable. All right, and in the end, Seigi won. Though he only really won because of his restorative powers. That's the only that's the only real reason he won. Because he got beaten like 12 times. Okay, like Cal beat him like 12 times, but because of his restorative powers, he would just heal. All right. But after he beats Cal, Aryabata emerges. Okay, Aryabata emerges and then starts fighting him next. Okay, and she was just dominating him with like the lasers and beams and crap. Okay, and Seigi can't figure it out. Like, how does this girl have a million abilities, but I can't use any of them, even though I have the same tattoo as she does? This doesn't make sense. And Aryabata, and this is kind of like we got a part of it in this episode and a part of it in episode 12. But Aryabata reveals that she's been manipulating him this entire time. It was obvious that she was manipulating him, but the extent to which she was manipulating him was not clear. The degree of detail, like that she had actually taken into consideration, was actually surprising. Okay, I didn't expect her manipulation to end up having this type of effect. Okay, she essentially, what happens is that in order to maximize the power of the triggerless tattoo, you have to be altruistic. I believe that was the way she phrased it. Okay, you have to be altruistic. And Seigi had completely given himself over to hatred and vengeance, and that's the exact opposite, right? So by killing Toko, she made it look like she was only doing that to make him angry and make him come after her and get reckless, but really the real reason she did that was to prevent him from being able to use the power of the triggerless tattoo to the same degree that she could, essentially guaranteeing herself a permanent advantage over him and an almost definite victory, pretty much. So that's what she was doing the entire time, which is actually pretty cool. Alright, and this episode ended with Tamaki and Izzy making it to Tom, the three of them passing by Sanders. We learned that he had a nuke, okay? Achita died, and he took out a whole bunch of land with him. Izzy, Tom, and Tamaki go after Seigi, okay? And that's it for that episode. And I'm gonna give episode 11 an 8 out of 10, mostly because of the fight between Seigi and Cal, and actually also the other fights too: Tamaki, Izzy, Mish, Laka, and the crazy girl. And then also because of Aryabata's manipulation and that whole reveal thing. So I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10 because I thought it was pretty freaking good. Okay, now episode 12 on the other hand. Episode 12, on the other hand, is something different, okay? Because this kind of got, like, this was, like, a bit much for me, okay? So Izzy, Tom, and Tamaki, they all made it to Seigi, right? They saw him, just how wrecked he had gotten, and then we turn back time a little bit, and we see how he got wrecked. He's just pierced and stabbed all over, pretty much, all right? Seigi was fighting to make it up this, like, mountain thing that Aryabata created, and he had no chance of making it up. He was just getting attacked the whole way. Alright, this is when Aryabata starts explaining about altruism and stuff like that. Alright, and she also points out that Wiseman knew all of this the entire time. And he knew that Seigi had no chance of beating Aryabata, but chose not to say anything or explain anything at all. And he did say that he shouldn't go. He did say that, but he never explained why it is he shouldn't go. He never explained the advantage that Aryabata has over him, and he never explained that Seigi was actively making himself weaker and lowering his own potential. Okay, or he was making himself stronger, but lowering his ceiling in the process, which kind of, if you're going to lower your ceiling, then what's the point, But he never explained any of that. All right, it's valid for Seigi to be mad at Wiseman for that. All right, but yeah, Izzy and the whole crew, they make it to Seigi. Tom carries Seigi away. All right, while Izzy and Tamaki stay to fight Aryabata, which doesn't really, it just didn't end well for them. Eventually, Tom and Seigi make it to Sanders, and then Sanders tries to use the nuke to take out everyone, but it doesn't blow. Okay. Seigi ends up jumping out of the helicopter, because they were in a helicopter, right? Seigi ends up jumping out of his helicopter and heading back towards Izzy, Tamaki, and Aryabata. And I guess in those few minutes, he had a breakthrough of some sort and got rid of all of the feelings of, not all, but at least enough of the feelings of revenge and vengeance that his willingness to sacrifice himself for Izzy was greater than, maybe not by a whole lot, but was at the very least greater than his feelings of hatred towards Aryabata. Okay. and he starts using abilities and crap. And Aryabata tried to. When I say used abilities, what I'm referring to is how Aryabata tried to finish them both off with the source, but say he just like goes right through it, like he just disintegrates through. All right, but it wasn't really clear what happened there, but it doesn't really matter at the end. What really matters is that Wiseman ends up activating that virus poison whatever thing that he created. Apparently he had finished it. He had tricked Siggy into drinking like these pills or something at one point, saying that, this is going to help you recover and it's going to keep your soul from getting devoured. In reality, that it was the exact opposite. The virus forces Siggy to kind of get devoured, kind of. He's literally just like the source just starts like materializing, it's like crystallizing all over him, and then he just turns into like this giant source monster. And Aryabata is also inside the source, so we get like a freaking monster battle, the two sources fighting against each other, which I just thought was, there's so many great fights in this show, and then for the final fight to turn into a monster battle, like I'm willing to accept that when it comes to some anime like Naruto with the tailed beasts, but that's because the tailed beasts are actual characters with actual development, who, especially Kurama the Ninetales, who we've seen grow throughout the entirety of the series. And these sources are just random monsters that only show up when it's convenient. So I just didn't care about this fight at all. All right, just a couple side comments. According to Wiseman, okay, Aryabata made two mistakes. The first one was that she assumed that the source would only consume a person when their soul was burned out. Okay, she didn't take into consideration the fact that a person could be forced into being consumed by the source. Okay, and the second mistake she made was that she kissed him, which formed a link with him. They never went into detail about what this link was exactly, but whatever. Okay, it's a link that exists now, apparently. Okay, and this was supposed to make her make it easier for her to get consumed too, or her sisters, I guess, really, because her sisters all started getting headaches and crap. Okay, at one point, I don't really care that much, but at one point, Kujuli took on all the strain herself, because the source is fighting, I guess, all the stuff, the virus and all the stuff was just causing the sisters to get these giant like migraines and headaches. So she somehow hacked into the source and then forced the strain to all be put on her. I don't even know. I don't know. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense, okay? I don't know. I have no idea what was going on there, but that's why I said I don't really care, because it's Kujuli and it's his sisters, and it was completely irrelevant, because it never even factored into the fight. At least not that I'm aware of. I didn't see it factoring in, but I don't really care, okay? I don't really care. Moving on, okay? Well, there was a conversation between Izzy and Brad, because when Siggy was devoured by the source, he was holding Izzy, so Izzy's kind of devoured by the source too, and she's like inside Siggy's head and talking to Brad, who's like also in Siggy's head. I mean, like, how do you write this stuff? Like, honestly, actually, no, I shouldn't even say that, because it's actually happened in anime quite a lot. People talking to people inside their heads. And I just mentioned Naruto. It happens in Naruto all the time. Except in Naruto, it actually makes sense. It's actually written in a way where it makes perfect freaking sense. Alright, but anyway. It's not the only time it happens. But, freaking Tokyo Ghoul, when happens, it doesn't matter, okay? This whole conversation, I don't really care about it. Doesn't matter. Kujuli doesn't really matter, okay? To put this whole entire fight really simply, Siggy wins, okay? Siggy wins. Alright. And that's essentially the end, really. I mean, the real ending is, like, I guess, supposed to be a tease for season 2 that's never going to come. I guess it usually, sometimes when anime put these little teases in there, it's to try to, like, hype people up and get them excited and make them want a season 2, and they can, like, try to gauge that interest and see if people want a season 2 or not. This did not get me excited for season 2. I mean, I'd watch it even though. I'd watch it season 2 anyway. But, the things that they showed, all they did was confuse me. Season 2 could very well be good, but the parts that they showed put together, it's like a bad trailer. A bad trailer doesn't necessarily mean the movie's bad, it just means the trailer is. That's what this was. Okay, the president shows up, president of the United States. Okay, we see Aryabhata fighting people in the North Pole or South Pole, I think it was. Izzy and Tamaki are dealing with the sisters. Seigi was about to fight one of the younger sisters in some other part of the world. There was some bald guy talking about a deciding battle. And then Sanders showed up for a pointless scene. And then the one thing that's actually interesting in this is we see tattoos, triggerless tattoo symbols fused together to make one giant circular, like spherical tattoo symbol. And a voice asking about what the other two think, which I could waste time theorizing about what this means, okay? But I don't really care enough to. I'm not gonna lie. This series is polarizing enough where, well, actually, it's not even really polarizing. Most people just don't like it. Right, so I don't think it's going to get a season 2. So I just don't feel like wasting time, yours and mine, theorizing about something that's probably never going to happen. So if you read the manga, you'll probably get to it eventually. But let's just say the power system is just not, it's even less clear than we thought. That's what it really means. The power system is less clear than we thought. Okay, the tattoos are gonna, the keys are gonna, I guess, actually, if Seigi did beat Aryabhata, I guess it's possible for him to have taken her key and then it fuses and gives him some other unique power. Yeah, I guess that's possible, but then what do the other two think? Does that mean there are like another, like 2 more sets of 4 triggerless tattoos somewhere? I don't feel like doing it, and I'm doing it anyway. But yeah, that's that, you guys. That is it for Taboo Tattoo. This last episode I'll give like a 6 out of 10 to, which I should give it a 5 because of how much I complained about Kujuli and Brad and Izzy, and then the monster fight. You know what? Screw it, I'll give it a 5. Why not? Who cares, really? Alright, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. And the series overall, I will give a 7 out of 10 to. Okay, and you might be wondering, you complain so much about this. Why are you giving it a 7 out of 10? Because I know what kind of person I am, and I know it's easier for me to talk about things I don't like than talk about things I do. It's just easier to explain, so I end up spending more time doing that. Okay, but at the end of the day, while I didn't like everything, there were things I did like as well. I loved a lot of the characters here, like Aryabhata and Cal and Brad. Alright, I actually like Wiseman. I actually do. The guy's like he's a bad person, and I like him for it. You know, so I like characters. I like 90% of the fight scenes, probably more than that. It's just the monster fight kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but I didn't like most of the fights, the choreography, and everything. So while there were things that frustrated me, there was enough there that I enjoyed, where I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because the good outweighs the bad, or at least from an entertainment value it does. So, yeah. I'm going to give episode 11 of Taboo Tattoo an 8 out of 10. Episode 12 of Taboo Tattoo a 5 out of 10. But the series overall, I'm giving a 7 out of 10 to. It was cool. And that's usually, and it's that kind of reaction that I give. That's why I give series a 7 out of 10. That is my scale. If I watch a series and I finish it and I think that was cool, you know, and it wasn't perfect, there were things I didn't like, but it was cool. That's when I give something a 7 out of 10. If I give it a 6 out of 10, would mean I have like no opinion at all whatsoever. Like the good and the bad, legitimately, just they all negate each other, and I'm left just like, what? I have like no opinion at all whatsoever. Which is how I thought about episode 12, except for worse. But, you know, but I'm not talking about episode 12, I'm talking about everything. Okay, so I didn't feel that way about Taboo Tattoo. 5 would be, a 5 out of 10 for me would be, I finished watching a show and I thought, this is so annoying. Why did I waste my time watching this? Okay, and I have felt that way about shows before. Okay, but not Taboo Tattoo. Okay, I enjoyed it for the most part, so I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 as a series, and that is that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA. I just started reading The Promised Neverland and Weekly Shonen Jump. It is very good. It is the next big thing. Okay, if it's not already a big thing, it's actually very good. I highly recommend it, and that is that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA, and I will see you guys next time.